Alright, this is a second video on the machine vise. I gave it a right good clean up this afternoon, got the majority of the rust off. I've not actually found a maker's name, so no idea where it was made or who made it. There's a few bits and pieces I've still got to touch up yet. You know, like inside of these jars, the holes inside there are still quite dirty and rusty. The jars are in a fairly poor condition. You can see there lots of drill marks, apprentice marks. But they're all free of rust now. This one's got some damage on the face, so I might need a little rub that down with a stone. This has been a precision vise in its day, I think. Well, maybe not precision, but a reasonable vise. Got the threads on the, I don't know what the term for that would be, shaft, acme thread, handle, I don't know, that bit. I've got the threads cleaned up. They were manky. I'll give them a little drop of oil. Somebody's been rough with it. You know, these sort of tools are always mistreated. But I don't know if the camera will show it here, but you can see the end of that has been domed over. Quite a bit actually. So they've been hammering the hell out of it to get it out. And of course, once they got it out, they couldn't get it back in. I took a little wee wire wheel and looked in the inside of this. You're not going to see it in the light, but there's basically 4 equidistant score marks on the inside of this bore, which I'm thinking, you know, they're quite wide score marks. I'm thinking they are basically caused by these domed corners. Okay, so what I'm planning on doing is tomorrow. You know, I could just file it down rough, you know, just get it back together. But I'll just mount that between centres in the lathe tomorrow, or when I get round to it, and just give that a little skim, just ever so lightly, just to take that out of it. And that then shall mount in there in that fashion. There's an oil hole or a grease nipple just above it. So I'm thinking these 2 recesses here are simply just to hold some grease. This here, this hole in the shaft there, look, I think what that's been for is a retaining collar would have slipped on from the outside over here, over the shaft, and then maybe a roll pin drifted through the retaining collar into the shaft here, just to keep it in place. So that I don't have the retaining collar for that, so that needs to be made. Ideally, I'd like to replace these jaws. They're just, well, they're kind of fucked. I shouldn't say fucked. No, that's no true. They're in poor condition. You know, they're not in ideal condition. These jaws would have gone on there in that orientation. If they'd been a slightly bit taller, you know, some of that marks could have been milled out of them, but they're maybe been milled in already. I've checked the threads for the bolt holes in here. They're fine. I've actually forgot to do it on the actual main body of the vise here. It looks alright actually, no stripped threads anyway. So that's all been cleaned up. I still need to clean out inside these holes. I don't know how I'll clean the threads. Maybe just reuse it, doesn't make a whole lot of difference. These things always get dirty. These are just retaining plates for the underside of this body. You know, I was going to use the word ways, but that's probably not the right term. The ways are for the on the lathe, but these raised areas, this is like to reduce friction. Okay, so you know it's only this area and this area here which run on the main body of the lathe. They're in good condition. I've got this. You know, this is all covered in crud, and you know this here is quite a tight fit over there. You know, there's maybe a little wiggle room, but not a lot, and it runs quite smoothly. And these are basically just retaining brackets which get bolted on in that sort of fashion there, so that they clamp on underneath here. Yeah. So the vise, while I don't think it's a particularly high quality vise, it's not a bad vise. The casting's certainly heavy enough to have a lot of carbon in it, so it's going to last. The underneath side of the vise body here, as you'll have seen in the previous video, has a machined cross in it. Now that cross is for repeatability. You'll have a couple of blocks bolted to your milling table, or possibly a gib strip of some description bolted to your milling table, and that way you can place the vise on that gib strip with accuracy every time, so that it's square. You know, it's not at a couple of degrees out. You know, and you can do it both in this direction and that direction. So you can have the jaws going this way or this way in perfect alignment to the travel of the table. What I've said, I've made a mistake. What I think would have been the case is there would have been a gib strip bolted to the underside of the vise, and then that gib strip would then fit into the slot in your milling table, yeah, before getting bolted down here, not the other way about. Sorry about that. It's getting late, it's gone 1 o'clock. So, what else is there? These pins here, I'm thinking that's for triangle, or for setting the vise up in a vertical orientation. I'm not quite sure what these are for, but that's what I'm guessing they're for, so that you'd have the vise resting on there, on maybe some sort of gauge block, so not a gauge block, but some sort of precision block, like a 321 block or something. These little pins, however, I have no idea what that would be for. You know, that's been machined out there for some reason, and these, are they just hammered in to retain these? You know, are they just like pins that have been pressed or hammered in simply to hold this into place? I don't know. So yeah, Not disappointed that the collar's missing, but you know, that's going to be a little bit extra work for me. Not a lot, you know. It's not, just means I've got to get the jenny running to get the lathe going and get a bit of suitable material. Doing a hole in the middle of the retaining collar. I'm not sure how I'll tackle that yet. I do have a V-block, but I don't really have a decent pillar drill at the moment, and getting it dead centre is going to be awkward for me because I don't have all this equipment that I really need. I'm wondering maybe if there had been O-rings on there, on these two grooves, to help retain the grease. I wonder. I was thinking about maybe replacing the oil holes. What do you call them? It's not grease nipples, it's oilers. Yeah, there's one there, and is there one on top of here as well? Yeah, there's one there. This one's in particularly bad shape. But what I'll do next is everyone will get a coat of red oxide, all the cast surfaces anyway. My intention is to leave the machine surfaces as you would normally, you know, that's just obvious. So there's a little bit of wiggle there. Not a whole lot, just enough to allow some free play. So, and then that would be its full extent of travel there. Cleaned up all the little cap screws, they were all manky as well. Oh, the only other thing that's I kind of knew it beforehand before I bought it, is there's no actual handle for it. So I don't know if I'll maybe fabricate one or just buy one. I'll see. I'll look them up to see how much it'll cost. Like everything these days, they can be quite dear. But then you're sometimes cheaper buying it because of the time involved to make it, you know. But I've got plenty of scrap lying about that I could make it. I don't have a welder. Not having power in the garage is a real hindrance, because although I've got a jenny for lights and a few bench tools, it's not enough to supply power for even I wouldn't want to run even a little welder on it in case it burns out the jenny. So what, apart from just the cosmetics on this vise, I'd like to replace the jaws. I've got to trim up the end of the shaft, make a retaining collar, and either purchase or fabricate a handle for it. So, and possibly replace the two oilers in it, and then give it a lick of paint. I can give it red oxide and grey enamel. And that will be all I'll be doing. I might replace these 4 Allen bolts. These were used for retaining the jaws, but for some reason they're a mixture of mercies. We've got hold on here, let's see if I get this right. We've got 3 approximately the same length. One's especially long. The threads are all stripped off of that length of the shaft. This one's also been stripped, but you can see they're different sizes of head, and they're also different lengths. Not that that matters, you know, once it's as long as it the holes are quite lengthy, you know, they're quite deep and plenty of thread. And these other two, again, there's different heads on them, and one is stripped as well. So they've been abused. You know, I don't know what that's been used for, but I'll replace them, I think. The other thing that I'm not sure about is the actual jaws. It's quite late, so I'm not going to bang them, but they're quite hard, eh? You know, that's I don't know what Rockwell that is. I don't have any way to test it either. It's got, is it 19,999, or is it 66,661 stamped on them? There's also a number 5, I think, somewhere. Might be on the other one. Well, I can't find it right now, but I'm pretty sure there's a number 5 stamped either on the jaws or on the vise somewhere. But I'm surprised at no maker's mark at all. Yeah, but not only is it a surprise, it's also a little bit disheartening, because when there's no maker's mark, then it's usually some cheap clone. You know, it's not actually got quality, it's not come from a quality manufacturer, which does bear a little, you know, I do have some evidence for that. The underside of the casting is quite porous. There's quite a lot of porosity on the underside, on the machine faces. So that, you know, puts a question mark over the quality of the casting. But it looks to be quite an old cast vise. Old isn't necessarily good, of course. And it's got a stamp over here, 106. I don't know what that stands for. Just probably a stamp from the manufacturer. You know, this is number 106 that came off of the production line, something like that. But yeah, I think I've done okay for 30 quid. Like, you know, I've got to put a bit of work into it, but I don't mind that. Quite enjoy it. Yeah. So, Christ, that's 18, almost 20 minutes already. So I think I'll leave it at that, folks. Go to my bed. 1:30 in the morning. But that's a big improvement in one day, you know. So if I get the opportunity, I'll get this bit done tomorrow, I think, and maybe the collar as well, depending what I've got lying around. Yeah, right, well, thanks for watching, folks, and till next time, bye for now.